एक तो क्वेश्चन
Mr. Speaker, no, before you go to question, so there's a very serious constitutional anomaly taking place. Before I come to that point, I want to welcome the procedure that you have set out, and that finally we will have a leader of the opposition who is legitimately elected or selected by the members of the opposition. I think that is augur very well for this House. However, I would like to point out that a very serious situation is taking place. You know that this House's primary responsibility of the National Assembly or the Senate or Parliament is to legislate. And without the assemblies, there's only one way of legislating, which is if the President promulgates an ordinance under Article 89(1) of the Constitution. If you want, I can read Article 89(1), that if the President feels it's necessary to promulgate an ordinance, then he shall go ahead and do so, and then there are ways in which you can get rid of the ordinance. So for the first time in Pakistan's black legislative history, an ordinance has been promulgated without the approval or the signature of the President, which is shameful, which is against the Constitution, which is not even against, in the larger scheme of things. So while we have been accusing the judiciary of deviating from the Constitution and putting words, for the first time the government is deviating from the Constitution and putting words in the Constitution which don't exist. It's manifestly illegal and unconstitutional. How can you promulgate an ordinance and put it into effect without getting the President's approval on it? ये तो कभी होता ही नहीं था. ये तो डिक्टेटरशिप के ज़माने में भी इस तरह से नहीं होता था. ये आज ये काला तरीके से अब ये कानून आना शुरू हो गए. Sir, I don't know what the government's excuse for doing this thing is, but that law will have no standing anywhere in any court of law or even in Parliament. तो सर इन हालात में हम इस ऐवान का हिस्सा नहीं बन सकते, हम नहीं इसका हिस्सा बनेंगे जब तक कि हुकूमत ये सारी इतनी बड़ी एनोमली को करेक्शन नहीं करती.
मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा,
I will be walking out along with my
I would request let the law minister give an explanation.
Let him give his position on the floor of the House, but we will not say.
Ji, Law Minister Sahab, do you have an explanation to what he said? Ji.
Sir, with all due respect, I would request my learned colleagues, please come back and join the proceedings. Let me explain that things are going in the right direction. Naveed Kanwar साहब, मेरी बात तो सुन ले सर. सर, कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है सर. एक मैं वजाहत कर दूं.
नवीद आप खड़े होके सुन लीजिए. If he has an
एक वजाहत सर मैं. Let me explain, sir, the mechanism. Mechanism is that even the ordinance is issued on the advice, and there is no doubt that President has to assent it. And Article 89 is always subject to Article 48. But having said so, we don't say that we are going to pass an ordinance which has not been assented by the President. It has been brought to our notice. There is something circulating on the social media. Let me recheck and come back to that. There were actually 9 or 10 bills and ordinances which were pending assent with the presidency for so many days. And just yesterday we were informed that the President has been pleased to grant assent to those bills, acts and ordinances. Maybe it's part of that or it's not part of that. सर, मैं गवर्नमेंट के बिहाफ पे बड़ा क्लैरिटी से ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि आर्टिकल 75 में जो जॉइंट सिटिंग से बिल पास हो जाते हैं, 10 दिन तक अगर उन्हें असेंट नहीं किया जाता तो उस पर डीमिंग क्लॉज इन्वोक हो जाती है, एंड इट वुड बी डीम टू हैव बीन असेंटेड. सर, हमने तो वो नहीं कभी नोटिफाई किए, इसलिए कि सदर मुमलिकत हैं, उनके एहतराम में, उनकी इज़्ज़त में जब तक उनकी तरफ से वसूल नहीं होते. अभी बिल्स हैं जिसमें यूनिवर्सिटी के बिल हैं, कुछ और बिल्स थे, वो तकरीबन 1 माह से वहाँ पे हैं. हमने उनको बिल्कुल ना डीमिंग क्लॉज लगा के नोटिफाई किया, ना हमारा कोई इरादा है. मैं वैसे भी ये एक्सप्लेन भी कर दिया. आई विल ऑल्सो टॉक टू रेलिवेंट क्वार्टर्स एंड आई विल गेट बैक टू नवीद कंवर साहब. मैं बल्कि अभी भी गुजारिश करूँगा शाह साहब, अगर उन्हें रिक्वेस्ट करें कि वो प्रोसीडिंग्स ज्वाइन करें और हमारे साथ. इट्स अ वेरी नोबल कॉज फॉर विच वी असेंबल. लेजिस्लेशन हमारा सर पहला फंक्शन है जो बुनियादी फंडामेंटल फंक्शन है जी, और हमें विद
Law
ऑल
Minister,
सीरियसनेस करना चाहिए।
I will request you to please go and
मैं जाता हूँ।
bring in your colleagues
मैं
along
सर-
with,
मैं बल्कि सर तारिक
one of the ministers should sit here and one should go. Parliamentary affairs, you stay here. Ji.